Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a treat for you today? I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Low Expectations, where as always, the beer is going to be fantastic. I'd like to introduce my partner, Tom, on the end, and our fantastic host for the day, James, from the Bierhaul down in lovely Thornton, Pennsylvania.
Lovely Thornton. Everybody knows where Thornton is.
Except me, I didn't really know where Thornton is driving down.
We're putting Thornton on the map.
You keep saying Thornton like there's no N in it.
Thornton.
Is that a Delco thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Thank you for opening the show with a critique, Tom. I appreciate that once again.
It's actually a silent Z in the front.
Is it Thornton?
How should I pronounce it?
It sounds Yagi.
Not sure.
Well, anyway, we're in the lovely beer hall. We've been poking around, as you can tell. Maybe you can't tell, but we're really happy you tuned in today because we have a fantastic show ahead, and I've got a lot of questions, my friend.
I have some answers, I believe. I think so, anyway.
So let's start off with what's in your glass.
What's in my glass? Oh, this is a lovely Italian Pilsner lager from Portman's Brewing, Philadelphia, or not, Pennsylvania all the way.
Cheers you on that, because I am drinking that as well.
You were empty, man. There we go.
I am empty. Can I just...
In a shocking development, this interview is in front of a bar. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. There you go. It'd be rude not to.
That's why I wasn't sure if it could. We're in the coolest spot. We're upstairs of this entire area. This was the quietest of all the places. It's packed downstairs.
Absolutely
There's
packed.
several different dining room areas. There's some booth areas. There's some table areas. Then there's this beautiful bar area. And right now there's an incredible organ trio playing down there.
Yeah, some
which is
local
super.
Westchester cats. A very good friend of mine, Mike Lynch. John Bickle, who is this insanely, I don't know how he's not famous and, I don't know, spitting on us all from afar. He's classic, like, Hammond organ player.
But you're happy to take advantage of that as long as possible.
Oh yeah, how cool is that? Yeah.
And then we're upstairs there's like a private event area. On the other side of it, there's friends of the show, a bunch of people over there. There's shuffleboard, super cool area to have like a private event. But then we're behind the second bar.
Yeah. This is the attic, it's called.
And I can just get a taster.
What?
And just
And just one thing Tom is forgetting is he forgot to put the word gorgeous in front of the description
It's so
of
nice.
every
Everything's
single
nice, yeah.
one of those spaces.
It's a beautiful building. We're very lucky.
And the building, you were telling me earlier, the downstairs is
how
old?
old? 1740. So 1740. So yeah, the original structure, farmhouse all the way. A old school kind of, I would say, kind of steakhousey wedding venue. Everyone's fucking aunt got married here. Like, everyone walks in still. It was called Pace One.
It was called Pace One prior to
for
you.
30 years. Then someone else took over, built out, and then we bought it from there. So.
Well, it's magnificent. I mean, so driving down was like 30 of the 40-minute drive was in driving rain, and then the clouds parted, the sun came out.
Yeah, it's
It
beautiful.
looks like your outside space is pretty amazing as well.
It's cool, yeah. So we have the original, the old farmhouse building was the original dining room from Pace One.
Yeah.
The extension is the bar, the existing bar. We built a little patio outside. Pace One originally built a 3-story motel here. So this is the first story of that motel. We have an outside space, an indoor space that connects for about 100 people. It is called the attic. So the attic was, I'm sure we might get into what are OG stories, I guess, but I used to tour in a band. That's how I ended up in America.
Oh, I'm going to get there.
We're gonna get there.
I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
I have information and I have questions.
All right. But my favorite venue was a super shitty little upstairs bar in Sligo called the Attic. So it was like, as soon as we were renovating this space, obviously it's for events and stuff, but we're trying to do as much live music and just entertainment shows in general as possible. So I was like, it's the Attic. It's
The crew
upstairs.
downstairs is killing it right now.
They're insane. They're my favorite.
And outside, you have upstairs outside?
We've been upstairs outside also. Yeah,
it's amazing.
it's cool. So like 120 people or so. Give us a shoot, Cindy at bierhaul.com,
There we
email
go.
for events.
We can get you booked
We would love to,
and rock and roll.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about you for a second.
Okay.
In case you haven't picked up,
I'm not from around these
He's got this thick Russian accent.
I told somebody Upper Potsdam yesterday, and I felt bad. I was like, she fucking believed me. I'm like, it's funny.
So tell us where
She was like, cool. cool. I'm like, oh jeez.
Wow, that's an interesting
Watch her come back
lifestyle.
every week for the next 10 years, and I'd have to like train everybody to follow on the lie. Upper Potsdam.
I found lower, but I can't find upper.
But I was in New York for 10 years, and there was this girl moved into. I was on the corner of 30th and 3rd. I have to
30th and
I know,
3rd?
sorry. Some fella used to call. Oh, I was bartending old school all the way. Call. He was like, "What's your location? Where are you located?" I was like 30th and 30. He was like, "Ah." I was like, "You fuck." I used to get trolled all the time. 30th and 3rd, of course. Yeah.
Bart Simpson on the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Moe's Tavern. But this girl moved in around the corner.
So, talk to me about your wee lad days. Where are you from, lad?
Right in the middle. So Westmeath is the county, Athlone is the town, right in the centre.
And when did you decide to make the move?
I was touring with a band, and we got
Bunny?
You have volume for. Yeah. Bunny.
Touring with the band Bunny.
It was good. We got signed. We got like a development deal with Universal, probably the last development deal ever given out in human race. But back when it was almost there.
Can you give me kind of a what year are we talking about?
2000, and that was 2005.
2005.
Yeah. So we had made a bit of noise. Had a nice album kind of run in Ireland, toured around Europe a little bit. Had a song on the charts. Did some festivals. Opened up for Coldplay and a few other little things.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
I was having a poop in a port body, and somebody was outside knocking on the door, and it was Gwyneth Paltrow, and I was like, "Yeah, I want to give it a minute."
You don't want to go in this.
She's like, "And look at her now."
I'd courtesy flush if I could, but
No, I don't know what's going on with Gwyneth Paltrow. I keep seeing her face on there. I don't know what's going on with her. Something's going on with her, apparently.
So what
But,
did
You should probably write her.
I was the singer, guitar player, songwriter dude. Yeah.
In the mix, our friend Nate over there is also in a band.
Oh, good
Go Commando. You need to check
Go
them
Commando.
out. Yeah.
Dude, come play the ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was fun. It was cool. I mean, it was amazing. I was dying to get out. Ireland's great, and of course, I go open up a European beer hall because I love it so much. But I was dying to leave. I was just, I wanted to go. I wanted to bounce around the planet with it.
So that, I guess the band toured over. You got to see New York, and that's how you landed there.
Yeah. So a year in, some of them went home. We replaced them with American players. The band kind of filtered out or petered out a bit. I stayed. I wanted to stay. I was always somewhat in the bar biz, at home and stuff, and did it as a part-time job. Always liked it. It's just as creative. It's what I mean. It's a similar kind of fields. I'm sure you agree. So I stayed in New York. Got in with a nice crew of people there, opened up a few spots, and just learned how to do all the things and stuff. And met my lovely wife, who probably will watch this at some point. I'm sure. I'd say some nice things.
Be careful.
I was gonna say something smart, but it never works out right. She's great.
Well,
So,
okay,
she's from Westchester.
And
Yeah.
before we completely jump over to America, I have a question for you because,
Cool.
the name of the show is Low Expectations, so I want
Right.
you to keep that in mind as you deal with the research
Okay.
that I've done.
All right.
But I
I mean,
came
right.
across this term,
Yeah.
and I'm not quite sure what it means.
Right.
Can you explain pub potboy to me?
That's what I was. That
I don't
was
know
my
what that
first job.
is. I mean, I think I know what it
you're
is,
the piss boy, man. You're basically. I'm sure back in the day you're bringing the water and you're letting gravity do its business in the toilets and stuff. But Ireland, it's. I try and explain it. Obviously we have this reputation for successful drinking. I would say. As my father said, we don't shove a fucking 3 olives in a bucket of vodka and call it a fucking drink. You know what I mean? We drink all day, and it's sessionable things, and this is why I have a Lagerhaus, and we'll get to that obviously. It's all about sessionability. It's all about the community aspect. It's all about the hang.
Right.
But then again, we're all 19 at some point, and it's just the bathrooms are destroyed. You're just cleaning up everyone's messes.
Oof, that's a rough job.
The day that they released Red Bull in Ireland, I swear to God, I'll never forgive them. There was no going back from that,
Oh,
because we don't do shots.
Yeah,
of
let's
bullshit,
give a bunch of Irishmen more energy.
Legit, I was in college at the time, University of Limerick. And me and my friend Sean actually ended up in the hospital the night that they released Red Bull in Ireland.
That's where I stayed when I was
In Limerick?
University of Limerick.
Oh shit, that's where I was in college. Yeah.
That's
I was
amazing.
there to 2 years, almost 2. I left a year and a half in. He stayed, and he lives in Boston now.
So that I came across that term as I was
Pot
doing
boy.
a little bit of research. And I was like,
It's a derogatory term. You're my pot boy, you're my piss boy, you're my little bitch.
now we know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
It's
but
not where
but
limericks come from, is it? Like the origin of limericks?
Do you know what's funny? One begets the other. I'm sure. I'm sure Limerick was named and some famous poet started with limericks, and that's where it kind of makes sense. But it could be the other way around as well.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, I won't lie and tell it like I know.
It's not a claim.
You know that Irish thing? I was like, no, I don't know all the Irish things. Like that person, like, no.
You could.
It's possible. It's annoying when it happens where you're like, actually, I do know that person. It's fucking frustrating.
I don't talk to him much.
I was like, yeah, I actually do. Fuck. It's like the 1.5 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
100%.
Yeah, it's fun.
You landed in New York.
Landed in New York.
And the hotel hospitality business kind of sort of?
Eventually, I was actually working construction for a little while, which is hilarious if you look at my nerdy facade. It wasn't really. I was genuinely in like a
Don't
five.
sell yourself short. You look like you can swing.
Oh, I was awful. We were playing like grown man hide and seek, all stoned in this fucking 5-story Fifth Avenue fucking mansion. Yeah, it was like off the books, like $300 a week, and it was brutal. Because I had the visa, I had my music visa, the traveling visa, but you couldn't work on that. It was a whole thing.
So everything was under the radar, right?
A little bit under the radar. Sorry, America. It's okay. I'm legit now.
He's fine. It's okay.
I have 2 passports.
And then
with my
transitioned
real
behind
name.
bar.
Yeah, served and then at bartending. Loved it. Wanted to kind of find something to make some money finally in my existence. Started managing some places. As soon as my daughter was born and we decided we were going to leave New York, I opened a hotel. I opened a big giant beer bar. I did a cocktail bar. I did all these things just to kind of learn all the biz so I can come to Pennsylvania.
Up there.
In New York, yes. And then opened up a place in Westchester.
And apparently invented a drink.
Did I invent a drink?
Rye.
Oh, the Rye Birdie.
Baby?
Rye Birdie. You know all the shit, man.
Something. I know 1 or 2.
Well, Rye Birdie would make way more sense than Rye Baby.
So
Sorry, who are you again?
It would be like Rice Baby.
I'm giving way too much time.
Rye
I'm like veering
Birdie.
towards him here. We need to make this a.
Oh, we're good.
I'm just here to take shots at me periodically. He doesn't offer much more than that.
That's it.
He's like your hype guy, except he knocks you down.
Right,
What's the opposite of a hype guy?
exactly.
He needs it, or he wouldn't fit through the doors on the way out.
So, talk about the drink. Because apparently you've got a little bit of fame attached to it.
I wouldn't say fame. I had a really cool experience where I got to one of the biggest cocktail people in the country. Her name is Julie Reiner. She just had a Netflix show, but she owns a bunch of really cool cocktail bars in New York, and Clover Club being the biggest one. So I worked with her, opened a hotel with her. It was my first real Manhattan that I came up with. She loved it. She stuck it on the menu, and it was kind of cool. It was a nice little thing where I was like, I can do this. It's kind of cool. It's cool. The cocktail game. I mean, I love the cocktail game. Beer is my first love, always will be. But it's the business. You respect all of the elders,
Sure.
And a good Manhattan is.
So,
That's why you take a break from beer. Nice Manhattan, and then I'm off again.
pot boy,
Pop up.
construction,
Yes.
bartender,
I didn't know you wrote gravestones. That's cool.
wife. Oh yeah, I got the chisel outside. And then
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania. Yeah.
And you're here because of her?
Here because of her. Yep. So she's born and raised in Westchester. I impregnated her along the way, so we had to make some life decisions. That's what happens, right? It happens. It's cool. We bought our grandparents' house. We're right in town, Westchester. It's akin to Ireland in many ways. Obviously, we have the green fields, and it's an hour from a bunch of stuff, and I love it. I mean, I wouldn't tell a lie and say I wasn't kicking and screaming when I left from New York, and I was like, everyone tries to beat New York, and it's impossible. But it's amazing. We love it. We have another daughter now.
It's a different vibe, but it's a very cool thing.
Yeah. I think
So
it's cool.
we kind of jumped forward. I need to know what's in a Rye Birdie.
So Rye Birdie.
We didn't go into any important details.
It's not as if it was literally probably the first Manhattan, probably one of the first drinks I ever came up with. And I was like, it's too simple, it's stupid. But all the best stuff is simple. So back in the day when the Manhattan was a drink, became a drink, obviously because of where it was, there was also a drink, a Brooklyn version called the Brooklyn. That used Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. So Luxardo, those really nice, I have some here, the really nice cherries, like not like the brandied ones, the really like dark ones. They're actually Croatian sour cherries. So and obviously that's the most popular thing used in Manhattan. But they make a liqueur from it as well. So I just did a Manhattan with Luxardo, a particular rye obviously, and then orange bitters.
Okay.
And some nice Antica, like Caprano Antica, Italian vermouth, and it's all about the ingredients more than anything else. But really respectful, old school Manhattan.
And keep it simple because
Yeah.
it's always
And it's just delicious. It's probably sweeter than traditional. There's no wine in the store involved, but it's a good drink. I actually have it on the menu here, but it's a smoked version, and so I call it the smoke show. So it's good.
So we're gonna go slightly off script here because this guy is. So I have a group of friends. I don't know, is addict. I don't know what the right word is, but your unhealthy bourbon addiction. You're part of that group. Tom.
I would
Don't
call
act-
it. I would call it an obsession.
obsession.
Yes, it's not addiction. It's an obsession.
Violent enthusiasm.
Yeah, there you go.
You can call it what you will. I asked for you to clarify.
Whatever you like. Yeah, sure.
Do you have those folks that wander in from time to time that are like
Yeah. I mean, there's
bourbon forward?
bourbon forward, folks. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, like, listen. Everyone, it's a cool time because everyone's super aware of all the things, like all the extremities, and everyone knows what People have calmed down about things like Pappy and all that kind of stuff, and everyone knows that you can get Buffalo Trace in the shelves, and it's baby Pappy. It's before they age it, and it's fucking delicious.
And I love all that, but I also love Old Granddad.
That's what I use as my house bourbon. I
Like,
love
Old
Granddad.
Granddad is
And
so
old
solid.
overhauled 100 proof as the house rye. That's what I have here as well. It's
I have to
delicious.
drop an ice cube in it.
Yeah,
to let it
that's
cool
okay.
off a little,
That's
but
alright.
I really do like it.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, I would say I'm not bourbon snobby, but I want to try them all.
I didn't say you were bourbon
Yeah.
snob. I
No,
said
you
you were bourbon.
Obsessed.
I said addicted, but okay.
yeah,
Because we have in the circles we move, we have certain friends who may or may not have written a script to scour the Fine Wine and Good Spirits websites to find out when all the latest bourbon releases are
Yeah.
being dropped,
Yeah.
and send out messages to send us to try and grab it as fast as we can.
yeah.
That does not exist. Nobody could figure out how to do that.
It should, I hope it does exist because it's hard to get certain things in Pennsylvania.
Do you want to
So
play a
literally,
game?
You want to
Do
play?
not change any of the language in your code.
No algorithms whatsoever.
It does not
We're gonna
exist.
have to talk.
But it's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
It is, and that's the joy of it, right?
You don't have any of the bourbon fever folks rolling through here?
We do. It's one thing that certain things I want. We're 9 months old here. I definitely want to have a Bible of sorts.
I didn't realize you were only 9 months
months,
old.
yeah.
Because when we walked in,
900 years.
the experience was of a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. It really is. It's a very, very well put together, very comfortable spot.
It's
that
cool. We're hitting our stride.
feels like
seem like
years
you know
of
what you're doing.
experience.
I love it. I live it. I'm like there's plans. They're not always perfect, but it's the people, man. I have like a serious crew.
Good squad.
Yeah. Really, truly. Keep me humble.
I am drinking a crazy lager right now. I
You
feel
want a
like-
succession? It's not. So this is.
No, the Succession's gone.
Yeah,
This was
okay.
delivered while you weren't.
Oh, okay.
This is the Weld Works Longbones.
Oh, long way.
It's
That's the
like-
Mexican lager.
Yeah, it's so different, but it's almost like an Americanized Mexican lager.
Yeah, a little bit of
there's-
lime. There's a little bit of sweetness there. It's
Yes.
well works, man. My God, when I was at Great American pre-COVID, the last one before COVID,
Any chance you're going this year?
I think so. I have to. Yeah. You going?
I already have my tickets.
I mean,
To where?
alright, let's do
Great American
Great
Beer.
American.
Oh.
Yeah. That's fun.
We'll
That's
have to-
fun. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. But I wangled my way behind some of the pouring stations, and I got to meet like Vinny from Russian River, who was super nice. So I found my way to Wellworks, which was the spot. And they're legit, like they're really good. But
Like when I think of WeldWorks, I think of the crazy,
The
Juicy bits.
Noches.
the noches on the dark side, and then like back in the day, the
Stouts.
juicy bits were the.
and it's solid, I mean, obviously we can talk beer
But
forever.
a Mexican lager.
I know,
would never
I know.
have thought.
It's not a Mexican lager. It's almost like a lightly hazy Mexican lager. There's a crazy
So let's
Americanized
peel back the
mixes. in
curtain
it.
for a
It's
second.
unfiltered all the way. It's definitely.
It's lovely. I
How
love-
did
I
how
really
did that
am.
end up on tap here?
Do you know what's funny? Listen, it's the good thing about being an intrusive foreigner in these parts. My biggest thing I won't lie.
You and lantern flies.
Don't get me stuck on one of those traffic. It's all relationships, right? Hi, Billy. Billy's on the podcast. Hi, Billy. Billy's my dude. But it's you get to meet the reps. Like some breweries.
Is that Billy Yoder?
Billy Yoder. Yeah.
Is he the GM?
He's the GM.
And apparently he hops behind the stove and does some cooking every once in a while?
He does all the things.
Nice.
He's my yang. If I'm
Cheers to Billy.
Yeah, we love Billy. But it's already like, obviously you're dealing with like obviously there's wholesalers, so you can talk to them, or directly to breweries, and sometimes they send you stuff, and it's very nice. And it's like I almost feel I know fake sometimes where like I'm excited about this, and they're like fuck with me, like it's but like it's a Lagerhaus. This is the main we can talk about Lagerhaus soon, but it's so cool to see something like Wellworks drop like double dry hop juicy bits, mosaic juicy bits, and all of these stouts, whatever. And then in the inventory is like Mexican lager, because that's what the brewers are drinking. I was like, give me 2 of them, man. You know what I mean?
That's what
And it's
brewers
fantastic.
are drinking.
It is
That's what brewers are
incredibly
drinking.
unique, and
Yeah.
I love it for how unique it is. If I wanted a Mexican lager,
Yeah.
exactly that, I might have been disappointed.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love the way this is slightly different and just fantastic.
And how cool is it that they're at a point, and this is what we try to be as a purveyor of things, but how cool is it that Wellworks puts out a beer, they put on a Mexican lager, it must be fucking cool. Like, you're like, sign me up.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
My hope is for every brewery to be able to, because I kind of like, everybody in our audience knows I straddle the line. I work in the industry too. So for every brewery to be able to be successful enough at what they do,
Yeah.
then to be able to fuck around and do good stuff
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
and be able to offer it.
It's going that way. It's cool that you can have like the Oxbows of the world who can actually charge. I mean, we're talking about keg prices. Like a price of an Oxbow Pilsner is like expensive. You're talking like almost Pliny prices or something like that. Look, it's a fucking lager. It's been sitting there for a long time, and it's delicious. And like, it's good that they can actually sell that stuff now.
Right.
People are happy to.
Yeah.
I have to charge $9 for a pint of Oxbow, but how cool is that? It's nice that the trust is there, and we're at a point, and yeah.
It's been a long time coming, but it is. I saw on the menu it says, "What is it? The year of the lager,
Decade of the lager.
decade of the lager." That's what it is. It's been slowly building.
Yeah.
And we've been
Yeah,
talking
and
about
it's
this
just
for the
getting more
past
and more
years.
and more.
Like,
Yeah.
we were Hayes boys forever, and now we're slowly shifting to like,
Yeah, and there's a time and a place,
just like,
I like the hops too if I'm having a few, but if you're drinking all day or if you're, I don't know, at least there's options.
So during your drinking day, I want to know, because apparently you have strong opinions on this.
Sure.
How does the Fireball fit into it?
Can't do it. Irish people, it's like, what is it, Zach Galifianakis?
James has very strong opinions on the Fireball.
I can't do it. The Tigers hate the cinnamon. The Irish hate the cinnamon too. Those stupid fucking Orion's patty, what are the potato things that people haunt me with once a year? Cinnamon balls of shame.
The cinnamon balls of shame?
Sue me, Orion's, whatever.
Are you talking about Irish potatoes?
Yes.
Irish potato
Cinnamon
kiss.
ball.
Wait, the cinnamon balls of shame.
Yeah.
I love it.
If you've seen some Irish balls, that's an insult. I have not seen any Irish balls.
Cinnamon balls of shame.
Oh, I hate them. Because
I
once you
love them.
like, listen,
He blushed when he said that, by the way.
I don't like them. It's
I love them.
That's gonna stick.
Yeah, I can't do the cinnamon. It's just it doesn't work for me at all. I'll gag. Fireball is not. Give me Jaeger. Give me I can even do Goldschlager
Cinnamon's terrible.
because I used to. Although it was Goldflakes and that shit.
Yeah.
See, that was my college thing. That was like for a little
Okay,
while.
that we forgiven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It's a learning curve.
yeah.
So I need you to tell me about. I did do a taster of the Solar
Succession.
Corona.
Yeah, Succession is not too far from here. New friends of mine, Solar. Yeah, so I love the sour IPA kind of thing, and obviously not over fruited. Just like let the sugars eat away and do its thing. It's Solar Corona.
Is that Hudson Valley-esque?
Very Hudson Valley, yes, that's what I said. Yeah,
Not
very much
nearly
so.
as heavy-handed, in
No.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Subtle.
Oh,
Hudson Valley uses a lot of sugar, you know what I mean? Which is fine. True to form, that's okay.
First brewery that popped in my head.
I
when
pour
said-
you one.
It's
A
tasty.
smidge,
Yeah.
because that's not my sweet spot.
It.
But
It is-
subtle makes me happy.
You know I'm a huge wimp for sour.
Yeah.
Oh, I love good
This
sour.
was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Look how clean that is, though.
Oh, it is. It's.
He gave me.
Look at the lacing.
I
Look at that
just
lacing.
made friends with him, so he gave me a Kolsch. I got a beer de garde that was
Ah,
ridiculously rich and complex and so cool and misunderstood, which is fine. That's a good teaching point, right?
right.
So Succession Brewing, not too far from here. I'm actually doing a cask festival with
Where?
Succession. I feel bad. It's not too. He's like 10-15 minutes from here. He's selling in all the markets now, and they're new.
It's nice. You're
They're-
right. It is
They're
subtle.
unknown to me.
It is subtle.
It is not heavy-handed like a Hudson Valley
Yeah.
is, which
Yeah.
I'm not saying Hudson Valley's bad, but that is just a beautiful.
They're
It
doing
makes me
like
wanna try
open air fermentation stuff, and it's interesting. Again, it's it's small right now, but it's good. It's really good.
It's not farmhousey. There's no.
Will you be at Lager
horse
Janet?
blanket.
Yeah, I will. Do you know what's funny? The guy who does all of the Jimmy Scantron is his name. The guy who does all the artwork for Human Robot for all their cans
Yeah.
did this.
Yeah.
Is as responsible for this lovely. I have no problem telling him that its branding is so on point, and it's Jimmy. I love me some Jimmy. He also is in a band called Cosmic Guilt, who will be here at some point. He better be, and he's a badass.
Jimmy?
He's really he has to. He knows it. He knows it. But yeah, so I'll go to Logjam.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Human Robot. They're cool.
Fantastic people.
Yeah.
Great space.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Great people.
Except for the milk tube. I can't. Tom and I.
You get it. It's kitschy. It's it's all right.
I appreciate the origin and the history, but over here in the States, I'm just not down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let other people love it. That's not my thing.
Isn't
but to
it?
each
It's
their own.
it's they wrote a jingle for a radio station or something. You have to you still have to make some noise. You have to do your thing. I mean, yeah, it's not for everyone, but beers are fucking good. I have Bergenstrasse and Hallertau Pils in cans right now here. Like,
Hallertau Pils is,
Perfect.
in my opinion,
It's
the
perfect.
perfect pizza beer.
Yeah.
The
Huh?
perfect
Mm.
pizza beer.
yeah,
saw.
it's crispy. Yeah, I like it. I like that a lot.
I saw a lot of the cans going around down at the bar.
Yeah,
There were quite a few people who just knew what they were going for.
yeah.
It was coming up everywhere.
It's cool. It's. I have 24 beers on. It's all. I limited it at 8 IPAs, so 8 hoppy things. Only 1 double, maybe 2 tops. Then the rest lagers, sours, saisons. A lot of wheat, obviously.
Yeah, let's
some
jump
darker
into that.
stuff.
24 taps downstairs.
Yep.
It's called the Bierhaul.
Correct.
How do you find, or how do you parse what gets the space? What gets the space?
It's just balance. That's all it is. The list, it should exude balance. You want to. It sounds kind of trite to say you want to appeal to everyone. It's not. Obviously, there's a part of it. It's it's a business. You want to sell things, but it's things that people should be paying attention to. It's things that people have forgotten. It's new things. So there's always some shiny pennies. It's an IPA, but a sour IPA. So you like this, and you like this pineapple imprint. My morning juice pineapple is probably it could be my favorite imprint hoppy thing, which is, I don't know, maybe it's I have to think about it, but it could be.
It's all right.
It's up there. It's way up there. I love that beer. But like you can go from that to the next thing, and you can just you can jump from sweet to sweet and stylistically, and you like Allagash. Here's some Hitachi, Nest White. It's a little bit of everything. You want to kind of tick all the boxes, but I mean, wine beer is my favorite thing of all time ever. It always will be because it's just the most fun game that can play. So it's
I
cool.
love that.
It's cool to watch, but it's cool to watch people enjoy it, and you can, obviously our servers and bartenders get to know things as they go as well, and they're digging something they like, and everyone loves the Mexican lager, and they're like, have this,
You nailed that. Shiny pennies.
right?
You gotta have a couple shiny pennies. Then you have things people have forgotten.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Huge one.
Yeah.
That's a huge responsibility to bring back those things people have forgotten.
And that's what this is.
awesome.
The bigger conversation is Europe. I love it and hate it for this reason. Nothing fucking changes. I ran from it because everyone's just like, oh, that's where I'm gonna die. Cool. Everyone's just so stuck in their fucking ways, which is great. I'm jealous of them being that way because I just can't fucking sit still. But you obviously I ran from that, but you also appreciate what it is. And like these recipes have not changed. Like Spaten makes 4 beers. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Hofbrau, that's a different story. But,
Right.
But there's like it's crazy the things that are just the way they are, and people need to know that as a reference point. Like my first good beer was from a booth in Stuttgart. I'm pretty sure it was Weinspanner, but it wasn't the wheat. It was lager of some sort. I mean, I think maybe it was 15, 16, one of the Zwickels or Kellers, or I don't know what it was. I'd be lying if I said I remember, but like that just was like a sensory overload. I was 15. I was like, holy shit, things taste like this. So you want to test it out. You want to bring back the old, like the good stuff is so good, and will never change and should never change. But
And should be
America,
tried.
yeah, but America takes the next level and try. I was going to say improves on things on its best days, I'm sure, has taken the IPA to the next level. I mean, everyone would agree. They might fight it, but it's the fucking truth. But it's great to see lagers popping ahead now, and people are playing with it whilst being respectful of what came before. Cold style ales are everywhere and all that kind of. It's cool. It's not from Cologne. That's all right. But
what you said that resonated with me was the fact that you want to introduce things to people to get them to try stuff, which is tricky because you want to bring people in.
Yeah.
You want them to love the place, and you want them to trust you.
Correct.
So that
Trust
you
is
can
the
say
biggest
to
thing.
them,
Yeah.
you should try this because this is pretty cool too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's outside your wheelhouse.
Yeah. We have people that roll in here. They're like, all right, give me. You tell me. Just.
And
it's cool. It's
that's
nice.
a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so.
That means you're that relationship.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. That's how I get my kicks. One of the ways I get my kicks.
That's another podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to get into that here.
Low expectations after dark.
It's fun. It's super.
That's
cool.
on RedTube.
I know, right? Is RedTube still a thing?
I don't know.
John, is RedTube still a thing? RedTube John. You gonna plead the fifth? Yeah.
That's a yes.
That's his username.
He's I think he's re-upping his subscription as we speak.
It's cool though. It's fun. It's and it's always gonna change. Yeah, it's beer o'clock, right? We're all running mad empty.
You so after 9 months, kind of getting things dialed in.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the future. You got anything coming up?
The next thing is it's funny. Succession, new friends. We're going to do a cask ale festival together in May here. So Chatty Monks are going to be involved. Forest and Main, who are obviously, my God, Forest and Main.
Right.
Oh, the best.
Big friends.
Big.
Oh, hey, Forest and Main.
How about a pill?
Why don't you reply to one of my messages? Let's do the show. Don't mind that smashing and banging in the back.
Yes, please.
Pills?
Yeah.
Forest and Main. We're
not a-
waiting on you to get back to us. Let's come in. Let's do the show there. Yeah,
Uh,
Forest and Main. Tom and I are huge fans.
Yeah, listen, they're doing big things. It's a smaller operation, so it's, I'm always talking to the same people, which is cool. We're going to let that settle, people. We don't spill
Let's
beer in
talk
space.
about Forest and Main for just 1 second.
Correct.
Have you been to the Yellow House?
Yes, yes.
Have you been to the old new spot?
I have not been to the old
Have you been
spot.
to the new spot?
The new spot, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
They're cool. It's all cool. I mean, you're fairly older. It kind of makes sense.
Your place and Forest and Main. I'm a big vibe guy.
Yeah.
And they have a similar vibe.
Yeah. Vibe wins. Yeah. It has to make sense. It makes sense. It's true to the brand, true to the beer.
How did you end up here, like this space? So you were at Split Rail for a while.
Yes. Yeah. So I moved on from there. It was just time for me to do my own thing. I have a very cool partner who is French and who was in the beer biz himself. We met years ago on a different project. So I helped a brewery open something else out in Chester Springs, and we just hit it off. He's super cool. I was like, I had the name Bierhaul I swear to God for 10 years. I've had the website for like 7 years. I trademarked it and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I really want to do this, and I think, we talked about some other concepts, and he knew I was ready to make the move and do my own thing. And I was like, I think the European Beer Hall would make sense for all these reasons. And he's like, I love it. Let's do it. And this came to us, and we lost one spot, very literally sign and reveal the next day kind of thing, just outside of Westchester, and pretty dark days. But that's how we grow.
It wasn't meant to be.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Some shit. I know something worked out. It's yeah.
The parking here is massive.
We have
You're never gonna have
150
to-
parking spots.
Yeah, it's incredible. Just fantastic. You don't have to worry about that. That is a New Trail Pills.
Lazy River Pills.
So the New Trail Pills was just served to Nate from In the Mix. He's in the back. You don't see him. He hides. But you may have heard him cheer when we talked about the decade of lagers.
He's
He
a fan.
cheered and did a little
This
dance.
is one of my favorite styles.
Willie,
And I like
Willie
the
Belcher.
Willie Belcher.
Belcher, right?
I'm going Belcher because
Belcher.
I'm
Makes
you're an
sense.
American.
I like Belcher.
And logo's nice, tight.
I just feel bad that I nodded. I was like, yeah, you are. I barely even know you.
It's okay.
You weren't in the definitive hat. That's cool, man. You got points. You got a Chelsea jersey on.
Did I lose points for that?
No. I'm a Liverpool fan, but that's okay.
You had a rough morning.
Very bad morning. My favorite uncle always will be Ron. Uncle Ronnie is a Chelsea fan, so I like
Ronnie,
I like the Chelsea.
we're experiencing tough times, but hang in there, buddy.
It's gonna be okay. Yeah.
Did the foosball lose?
Yes.
Too much money.
Tom sports balls all the time.
Yeah.
Go sports. Yeah.
Do you want a refill? A new trail? Or you want to?
Well, he's been dying for main
We
lunch.
have some,
Yeah,
let's do main
I'm
lunch.
sorry, main
Please,
dinner.
thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, it's
But
Oh, it's
yeah,
lunch.
the Belcher, if I'm drinking an IPA, that's my preferred glass.
Same.
But
I love
full or
it.
half?
Love it. I'm also a fan of a Nordic cooler. The 17 ouncer, they're hard to get. I like that.
full or half, thumbs up.
Take a 17 ouncer. Main lunch. That's good.
Second lunch drop this week.
Oh yeah.
Not distributed anywhere down here in the hinterlands.
It's a little
Although
hard to get your hands on.
Pennsylvania is being fantastic right now. We're getting a lot of great beer in here. I saw on deck you have a number of ale beers.
Yeah,
stocked up,
yeah,
ready to go.
yeah. And it's cool. They've been very nice to me. They always send me all the things. Somebody from Vale was here at one point, and certain breweries send people and scope out things, and it's just cool. I'm fine. I'm like, you come scope me out anytime, man.
We talked about the Von C's. How do you feel about the Von Traps?
Oh my god, love all the Vons.
Oh.
Von Blondies, have you ever seen them?
No.
Come on. No? Good band.
I'd like a round of Vons.
Oh, look at them.
Yeah.
But the Von Traps, man. When
Von Trapp's amazing. Von Trapp is, it's real deal. Lagers win, man. Good beer wins. That's all it is. We talked before we started
Where's the dark
filming.
beer?
Where's the dark beer?
Yeah.
I was gonna bring.
We have some.
Please bring it up. Follow up with that time.
You were talking so much about variety and
Yeah.
and
Today
almost
we might be
pleasing
hurting a little bit
everyone.
for dark.
You're definitely hurting on the.
Do you know what's funny? I have a permanent Westmall Double line, which you can get in Monks and Freezes in here. We're just out of it this week. I have post St Patrick's Day Smithwick's on tap still. I usually have what else do I have that almost made it on? I have some Great Lake Edmund Fitzgerald coming on very soon. So yeah, I think there's like 2 or 3 darks right now, but usually 4 or 5. So that's fair, man. That's fair. Call it out.
And if the answer is, oh, well, we're a lager bar, that's the answer. But just genuinely curious, like here.
It's seasonally definitely more darker stuff, obviously in the winter time.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Always Guinness. Always. I mean,
It's always
good.
stout season.
What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think about the BA stout or the pastry stout? That
I like him. I rotate in a lot of the Goose Island stuff. I mean, say what you want about them and their but the stouts are insane.
well, in our backyard we have Free Will, which is the
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, so good. All those variants are insane.
They really do.
I have some Garcia's Forest on right now. I have one of the pomegranate sours. I like Free Will. They're good.
So
Percocet.
on any given day, what
Yeah.
are you drinking? What's James's go-to?
It depends on the day. It depends what the trajectory is.
Let's call it a Saturday
Saturday?
around 3.
So random. Today, lager still win for me. I mean, it's obviously the sessionability factor. We drive in these parks. It seems that's one thing I miss about New York. The non-driving was very nice. I don't know, man. It depends. I'll go with the list. I'll go whatever way my brain flows. It's of course I'm buying for all the people, but I generally try and veer towards my own.
Sure.
Yeah, because I have the best taste in beer.
I understand.
I have no, you don't understand. The best taste in beer ever.
Of course, your taste
Of course
is the best.
you know,
It's
yeah.
your taste. That was your argument, right?
Yeah, we can't have sex in the toilets. Just saying.
It's okay. No, I'm
And I don't
on
think we
you.
You missed that
Not
story.
even upstairs.
Maybe. They're small. They're petite. Little. But it's obviously I always try and tap things that I'm crushing on, but and when you're dealing with like an SDS pills and Pliny Day, you can't it's hard to kind of veer away from those. But
We've covered a bunch of stuff on the show, Tom, but as James was speaking, I don't know that I can't identify in my head who the top lager brewery is. Who is the top? Because ask me about most styles, I can kind of like, at least in my opinion, I think, but I can't give you my best lager brewery. Can you?
it's I don't know. It's subject to change because that's it's still a forming thing.
But sure, just right off the top of your head, like,
Forest of Maine is way up
Okay.
there for me. Way up there.
Okay.
Like way up there. For PA at least.
You've got to break it down. If you're talking consistency,
no, it could be anywhere. Anywhere.
consistency. In
Where
a
do you want a
can,
lager from? Where
If
do you-
I know I can go buy cans consistently in Pennsylvania, I'm gonna go for like the Von Trapp variety pack because I get 4 great lagers.
So good, man.
In that pack.
That coach is insane.
Right. They're
oh my God.
incredible. Every one of them is fantastic, and at the same time, you get a little bit of variety there.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for one particular brewery, I would say, you know, Forest and Maine
Yeah.
could be up there. I love the lagers that Imprint puts out.
Yes.
They're they've been getting a little less lately.
Yeah.
So like when we were there a week or two ago, there wasn't one on tap. A little sad about that. But in general, I mean, if I was going cans in PA, let's go for that. I'm going for the Von Trapp Bayern.
He is really killing it. I mean, obviously we're here, so it makes sense for us to kind of, you know, convince ourselves of that, you know. But it's true. It's like, yeah, Von C, Poorman's, Imprint. I've told Brian I love the lagers.
So-
Imprint makes us a house beer. Wallpaper Pills is.
The Hoppy Pills.
When they don't mess around with it, it's really, really good. But
So
that Weldworks blew me
I
away.
was in there Thursday night.
Yeah.
We had the Phillies Pilsner. The English Pub Ale and Nitro was,
Yeah. Legit. Yeah.
and then we dropped the Mexican lager with lime.
That's
So-
cool. That's cool.
All right, so let's
That
keep,
Moda, that Pills, not Italian Pills,
Right,
Moda.
right.
It's real deal, man.
Let's keep playing this game. Not PA, anywhere. Pilsner. I can start if you want me to.
You're talking America or just anywhere?
America.
America. Oxbow Lupulo. Oxbow Lupulo, Italian Pills.
Haven't had it.
Oh my god. Schilling. Alexander.
Meet me at Suarez.
Suarez. Suarez slaps. Definitely slaps. Like, not what they say, it's not what the kids say.
Yeah, this is what kids say.
Kids aren't drinking good pilsners though. I don't know.
The
It's
kids.
gas. Gas was last year.
Gas was last year?
Yeah, they don't call it gas.
Tom?
I honestly cannot. I am not educated enough and have not tried enough to judge that one.
But
It's a very honest answer, Tom.
Yeah.
I like that.
in the last two styles we've talked about, if I'm not gonna drive anywhere, I'm going to Von C, because those boys, they're tight.
Listen, and I like that they're not a shiny penny. They're grassroots. They're cool. I always said my business partner owns Sterling Pig. I always liked his
okay.
beer. Yeah, the week owns Sterling Pig. I was like, we bonded over his beer, and he doesn't brew, but his partner's a brewer.
Right.
I was like, it's non-sexy, really cool beers. I love Sly Fox. Maybe that's an insane thing to say. Oh my god, how uncool is that? Those beers are fucking good, man. They're not sexy. They're not cool. They are tasty. That Helles Lager beats the shit out of anything.
My annoying thing I come back to over and over again is when breweries stay in their lane.
Yeah.
They don't go outside. They have something they're really good at. It's tight
That's
and
okay.
it's consistent.
Yeah.
They stay in their lane.
That's all right.
And Sly Fox stays in their lane, man.
Yeah.
They're not doing double dry hop juice bombs,
No.
and they shouldn't.
No.
They just stay in their lane.
Yeah. It's admirable. It's mature. It's
I
good.
have to say this. I feel like now's the time for me to confess this.
Uh-oh.
The best Kolsch I've ever had in my life. Now, this is going to sound absolutely insane. The best Kolsch I've ever had in my life was called Swedes in Heat. It was produced by...
Yeah?
It was produced by Other Half.
Swedes in heat.
Swedes in Heat.
It's funny.
It had Swedish fish all over it. It was an Other Half beer.
That's funny.
It is one of the top 5 beers I've ever tasted in my entire life.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
That's
good.
good.
It was made by Other Half.
Top
a Kolsch.
5 beers
A
was a
Kolsch
Kolsch from
by
Other
Other
Half?
Half called Swedes in
Kolsch is the one thing. That's one thing that I was like, very few American breweries really nail it. Like, I think Von Trapp does a great one. East Branch out in Downingtown.
Oh, yeah?
Their Bach Kolsch. Oh my god. That beer is next level. I'm really snooty with Kolsches. I will be. I'm not German, it's fine. But I'm like, you know.
You can be.
I'm not
Off,
sure.
accent.
off you will fuck.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I'm
it's not
snooty, but I know I loved that beer.
That's all right.
Incredible.
That's good. I would not.
It could be a shit example of a Kolsch. It
No,
could be,
dude,
but
listen,
it was
it's-
great for me.
It's exactly. It's great for you.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's gonna be you. Like, there's I have another half lager, like a Japanese rice lager called Poetry Snaps.
Oh, yeah.
It's delicious. 4.5%, just like, and that's another jumping back to former conversation. Other half beers on tap are rare. Obviously, we get a bunch of them, and I'm like, dude, give me all the lagers. And the reps are like, this is cool. I was like, yeah, give me 2 lager halves. And the breweries are like, who is that guy buying all these lagers? You know, like Tired Hands. When I started dealing with Tired Hands first, it was like, why are you buying saisons, man? I was like, that's your best beers, dude. Like, you know, the hoppy shit is good and all, and they make really good hoppy shit, but it's the saisons are.
But it's also kind of like your your vibe is that you want low ABV hangout beers. It might
It's beer. Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, sessionability is probably the biggest thing. It was in a Lagerhaus, you call it a session house, and try and keep it an all-day party, you know, and try and...
But balancing that time. I get it. I get it.
You're still going to do some doubles and some, you know, high-end kind of... have some Phantom on draft right now.
With lagers, I have a hard time. I'm allergic to rice. So people, a lot of places will use rice as a filler.
Yeah,
to
way more than
lighten
people
up
realize, yeah.
Yes, so I know when I drink, I have to be careful how many lagers I drink, because when I drink a lager within an hour, I start to feel off and I had rice in it, and they don't tell me. Like, but that's one of the lighteners. That's something they use it to lighten up the grain bill.
Yeah.
And they do that a lot.
And you don't legally have to put all your ingredients in any beer. And, you know, if that's PA or America, but like you have to put 70% of your ingredients legally on a can.
Yeah,
crazy.
I can't drink almost any.
You're allergic to cyanide?
Yeah, any victories I have a really hard time with because of how much rice.
Cyanide, not good. Formaldehyde.
Yeah, I would take cyanide over fucking Orion's potato cakes or whatever they're called.
Oriion's
I would take.
potato
Give me
Talking
Orion.
about the cinnamon balls of shame again?
balls of shame. Oriion's potato cakes.
Is this what this?
I'm
It's going to be
pretty
called
much-
Cinnamon Balls of Shame. That's.
I'm selling so many t-shirts next year.
Give me
We're gonna set up
cyanide
a little
any day.
tent outside.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so angry. I don't want to hurt stuff. Cinnamon.
Because the Irish have high food standards. Huge food standards.
The English stole everything, including all of our food culture. We have
Sons of bitches.
Ireland has no food culture whatsoever. It's great. We're surrounded by water and do not
When
cook
was the last
fish.
time you were back?
Do you know what? It's weird. It's been like 5 years for me. I'm going back in October, COVID stuff, and then opened a bunch of restaurants and did this little thing. Yeah, so it's been 5 years, which is insane. But it usually would be once or twice a year.
Nice.
So I'll start that up again.
Married one?
Two
daughters?
Married once, twice to the same woman actually.
Just gonna let that lie.
Foreigners. It was fun. No, we did a civil ceremony then a real marriage.
Right.
2 daughters, yeah, 10-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Living in a girl house, how's that?
I always wanted to be surrounded by women. I just did not think it would be this format, unfortunately.
You rehearsed that, didn't you?
I've said that before.
And had
I do
no
talk,
idea how many.
I do talk a lot
blankets-
for a living sometimes.
How many blankets do you own? Isn't it?
It's not enough for too many,
It is
considering that
fucking
reaction. I don't know.
ridiculous.
That's
The
what we're
number of
focusing on.
blankets in my home.
Yeah.
What-
I know,
Like
but-
they need 14 blankets each. I don't understand.
Is it bad that I want to buy you a rice blanket? Is that weird? Is that wrong?
I feel like you hate me now.
Actually, that came across wrong, right?
I'd like to see a blanket made out of rice myself. What happens when you hit it with water?
Who throws a shoe? I know, right? Yes. A life raft.
So many blankets with women around. My goodness.
Dude, you have me thinking about blankets now. I'm like, we do have a ton of blankets, yeah. People keep knitting us shit, man. It's crazy.
And there's never enough. It's like, well, this blanket's not big enough. We could use one that's thicker, so there's like thicknesses of
My
blankets
blanket needs
and
a friend.
sizes of blankets. Yeah, you know, so many.
I guess I'm
blankets.
happy I live in a boy house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever every corner of my basement in the theater we have an entire the pile of blankets is almost as tall as I am, and then in the living room
Do you
there's
not
a
pay for
pile
heat?
of blankets. I have wood stoves and we have nice, really warm heat, but they've got to have blankets on top of it. There's blankets everywhere. I don't understand it.
It's crazy. This took a turn.
Yes, it did. That was a strange turn. I'm sorry. I apologize.
What type of blankets go best with beer, Tom?
The cuddle dud blanket, king size. Then you
Cuddle dud.
then you've got the hand knitted ones. They're always
Or a
nice.
couple BA pastry stouts that are 12-13%.
I'm
That'll
thinking
warm
warm
you right
blankets,
up.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
warms me
yeah,
up. I have
absolutely.
no problem with that.
Absolutely. Little Ralphie's blanket. Blanket around. Yeah. Cool.
You know, the other day, last week, a few people came over to the house after a beer festival, and I was cooking like a madman, just cooking. I'm like, guys, just whatever beer you open, give me a taster of it, and I'm just gonna keep
Seems
cooking.
like a reasonable request.
I will just feed you all night long, and I made like 12 different pizzas, right?
Nice.
So feeding them pizzas.
It's not a beer sample.
Not pizzas.
Pizzas.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pizzas.
Meat crust pizza.
He doesn't
So I'm
use
serving
carbs.
them all, and then except for beer. And then at the end of the night, when I'm finally done, I look back at the table. They drank a Ralphius and never gave me a sip of it. And then there were like 4 more beers that they never served me.
Yeah.
You
There's
need to
there's
be
no going
better
back from
friends.
The
that.
kitchen help never gets
Yeah.
any acknowledgement.
Excellent all the way. Sitting in the kitchen drinking his Mexican lager. Unappreciated in his own time.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
It's all the...
Insane.
So, you're 9 months in.
Yes.
You're killing it day to day.
It's trending that way, yes.
Okay.
How about any special events coming up?
Yeah, so Cast Festival in May with Succession.
Do you have a date?
It is I'm going to have to check. It's the 13th. It'll be on the website like literally next week.
Perhaps the 13th?
13th. Oh!
And it's actually here.
It's here, yeah. So we have a little
Oh.
lawn outside.
It's beautiful.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's
huge.
not a little lawn. It's
It's quite the lawn. You could fit 4,700 blankets on that lawn.
Are we bringing? Is everybody bringing a cast?
So it's going to be 2 pins. It looks like per brewery. So we're going to have about 10.
wow.
It's going to be cool. So we're going to do that. We're actually doing speaking of Sly Fox, we're doing a Jeep charity event with Alex's lemonade stand the following month, and then July 1st is our first anniversary with our lovely friends from Imprint and all their friends. Yeah, so we're doing the hookup thing. So that's
So
going to be
cast festival early May.
yes
Jeep Alex's Lemonade
in June.
in June.
Yep,
Big party July 1st.
July 1st. Then probably try and do something in August, and then Oktoberfest in September.
Did you do an Oktoberfest last year?
We did, and it was
Because
legit.
this place
legit.
screams
It does scream
Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Well, Bierhaul obviously is the name. It sounds very Germanish, so everyone assumes it's German, and it's my own fault. I've been explaining for years, but it's European. It's a European beer hall. Do all the things.
It's very European.
That's quite European.
As far as European beer hall goes, the food that I ordered tonight or today was absolutely incredible.
What did you have?
Fried green tomatoes
Oh, yeah,
with a
that's good.
balsamic glaze, fresh mozzarella in between.
Pickled red
There's-
onions.
Yes.
Pickled everything.
Very little European about that. And then on top of that, I had to get it the however you may pronounce it. It was the mozzarella tomato, but with cinnamon peaches caprese. So that salad was incredible.
See, I allow
Fireball.
the people.
Take a
I allow,
Fireball.
It's fireball cheese.
You can say
Fireball cheese.
it was just the peaches. The cheese wasn't treated at all. With
We do. We're coming out of the fall winter menu. We're actually launching our spring menu week after next.
These tomatoes were just incredible examples of just beautiful heirloom tomatoes, the way they should be. There were yellow tomatoes and beautiful red tomatoes, and they were fresh and just the right ripeness. And you don't get that right now.
No,
It was beautiful. So
I have been
the
posting
two
links
apps
all
that I
week
ordered were
to the beer menu, the on deck menu, and the food menu.
Yeah, we're lucky.
And-
It's again, we have a nice crew. We have a very good.
Yes, it
How,
was-
listen, it's an atrocity if you have a restaurant in Pennsylvania and you don't take advantage of all of these fresh outlets. Shame on you. How insane is that? Like it's we're surrounded by opportunity, and
You're super involved in the beer menu.
Mhm.
How involved are you in the food? Or is that Jess?
I mean, Jess is our she's our head chef. I mean, she takes it to the next level. I'm involved in everything. I mean, obviously cocktail wise as well. We have a lovely bar manager now. Her name is I call her Snarls Barkley. It's a long story. Somebody called her Snarly, so I named her Snarls Barkley. She's the nicest girl ever.
Works for us.
Billy obviously cooks as well, so it's full collaborative. I mean, there's what you want and what you can have, and then you meet in the middle, and
Sure.
logic and price and balance. I'll say it forever. It's great. It's great to actually have ideas, but give people room to put their stamp on it, and I'll dig my heels in certain things, and then other things I won't have a fucking notion, and then we find it's cool. It's very cool. Jess is very, very talented. So she's young, but she's
It's building a team, right?
Yeah.
It's an amazing. What I experienced was an incredible display of talent. It was
good.
so good, and you should absolutely come here for a meal. You should come here for the beers, for the outside space. When it's warmer, it's a little chilly. When it's warmer, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, we have a patio. We're like super. This is the thing. Between me and Loic, we have a bunch of kids, and it was always my thing. It's like, where do we go? Where can I go as a dad? Bring my daughters. sling 2 beers, grab a 4-pack, grab a bite, and be out the door in an hour and a half. We have all the space for that, and obviously come and stay for 6 hours as well. That's all right as well.
And just before I was here like an hour and a half, 2 hours before we started recording, and just walking around, the music, the vibe at the bar.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Outside, everybody was just happy and having a good time.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. So
It's
well
Saturday.
done, sir. Well
Thank
done.
you, man. I appreciate it.
And since we've been here for roughly 50 minutes, the area behind us, I'm sure you heard on the mic, grew. There was a packed house back there, and then people filtered out. And I'm sure there's some of those people outside and people down listening to the music.
Yeah, and that's the
It's
thing,
really
yeah.
really neat.
Tons of space outside for the summer. We have some actual like patio, like proper dinner service tables. Then we have some bench seating for families. A little more chill, more like patio versus beer garden. We have the inside. We have music. Saturday afternoons, Thursday nights. I'm going to add music on Wednesday nights. We have full bands in the attic whenever we can. We're doing private events here all the time. We're doing comedy shows. We're doing drag shows. We're doing everything. We're doing all the things. It's a big old fun world if you invite all the people in.
I mean,
Do you have a weekly schedule?
yeah, it's all on Bierhaul.com.
What do you? Okay, so like on Tuesday nights, I heard trivia, right?
Trivia on Tuesdays, and I just started an open mic on Tuesdays too. It's a huge place. It's so fun to actually do all the things, like obviously coming from music backgrounds, cocktail, beer, everything. This place is massive. Like we're starting to do it all, which is fun once you find the right people, and you know we're finding our feet, and it's busy, so it allows me to do kind of spend money and do whatever we want to do. But there's gonna be something every night of the week here, and it's super diverse, and just roll in, and there's always something going on. It's a few floors, and we haven't even built. We're gonna build a cocktail bar downstairs, a little speakeasy. Eventually,
Ooh.
I say eventually. That's probably like 2 years.
where?
You didn't see the basement?
Behind
you
the
haven't seen
secret
the basement?
bookcase? You didn't go behind the secret
Yeah,
bookcase? Where you pull the statue and the door opens?
This place.
If you
is
guys don't
massive.
see me next week, now you know what happened.
Yeah, that's where we buried the body.
Speakeasy sounds fantastic.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. So this is the attic. The speakeasy is gonna be the easy way out. That's what it's gonna be called. So this is the attic of Bierhaul, the easy way out. And we're also flipping the top floor for hotel rooms. We're gonna have an Airbnb up top as well. And then we buy a Ferris wheel, and I'm done. Ferris wheel, right?
Cotton candy machine?
Yeah, cotton candy.
Fine.
Sure, why not?
It's cool. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Fireball.
I'm having fun. The Fireball Hotel. That's what we call it. Yeah.
Sir, can I refresh your cinnamon? Get the fuck out of my room. Fair enough, there, fair enough.
But I'm American.
I hate Fireball too. It's just,
You have to tell you. He started to tell me his Americans landing in Ireland story. Have you told us on camera before?
So no,
You started and it was downstairs and we were bouncing.
This is
So I
how
want to hear it. I
This is
want
how
to hear
we
it.
started because James said, I'm probably gonna curse during the episode. I'm like, well, that makes sense because
loud.
Filthy
when we
pirate.
landed about 10 years ago, myself, my boys, we went to a soccer tournament over in Ireland. We landed at Limerick Airport, hopped in the cab. My boys were like 12 and 9 at the time, driving from the airport to the hotel. Cab driver turns around as he's driving and he's like, Americans. Yeah, we were here for a soccer tournament. What y'all fucking doing? Literally 10 seconds into our visit, and I was like, all right, boys, this is what it is.
Irish
Roll
cab,
it.
Irish cab drivers are an institution of just. It's hilarious, man. It's just a whole breed of people.
Fookin.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Especially you were in. So you Dan and Shannon.
Yeah.
So you were in Limerick at that point.
Yep.
Limerick's interesting too. Yeah. My first taxi, I'm pretty sure it was one of my first weeks in college in Limerick. And Limerick's a little bit dodgy, as they say. You know, it was kind of like, so he was like, where are you going? I was like, well, my house is bad. And he goes, all right, I'm going to take it, but we can't drive through here. I was like, I thought that was the bad part. He was like, that's a bad part and that's a bad part, but they just kill each other, it's fine. Like, Limerick was called Stab City. And I was like, I'm telling my parents,
Sounds like a nice place.
yeah. Parents, where are you going to go? I'm like, oh, I'm going to Limerick. You're going to fucking Stab City? Are you joking? I was like, who would stab this? Picture.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody gets
No,
wrong
but
with
the cab driver was like, I came close a few times, I'm sure. But he was like, they just stab each other, it's fine. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man. So just don't go there, and you're fine. Like,
We didn't leave the campus.
yeah,
Except
good
to
move.
do all the bullshit touristy things. Tullamore was fantastic.
Tullamore's good. I'm from right next to Tullamore, like afternoons.
Galway was fantastic.
Always good. Galway is where ambition goes to die. That's what my friend said. Friend from Limerick College. I moved to the States and I went back. His name is John Gaffney. He was.
Me?
I went to Galway with another friend, and I was like, he was in college. I was like, well, you're in college. He was like, yeah. I'm doing like an intern professor, an aide or whatever. But I'm doing like another master's or whatever he was doing. I was like, you're still in college? He was like, dude, Galway's where ambition goes to die, man. I don't know what to tell you. I was like, that's fair.
5 years later.
Oh yeah. It's full of Scandinavian women. It's a fun time.
The house I hung out with in high school is where my ambition went to die.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good place. But
Why'd you point at him?
Just surrounded by blankets.
he was there too. He was there too.
You know what you did.
My ambitions died.
That's fun. It's good. It's good little spot.
Well, sounds like you have a full slate this summer.
Yeah, we're ready to rumble.
And
Is this the first non-brewery that you've done?
Yes.
yeah,
That's kind of cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I heard that on the grapevine. Cindy is my grapevine. Cindy told me.
Cindy and I go way back to her days in another place in Westchester.
Yeah.
And hooked up with my nephew out in San Diego. They were good friends. And
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So we spread the net wide. And,
That's
and
cool.
she was
She's-
like,
yeah.
I have found the ultimate place for you to come visit. And I was like, in.
We popped the cherry.
Yeah. I
appreciate
I feel slightly uncomfortable, but excited.
That's what a good cherry popping feels like.
I'm gonna be a little snobby here. Not many places are worthy, and I was like, we're going to a place that doesn't brew beer. I'm not down with this. I'm not excited about it, but I will have to eat my words and say this was awesome.
Right, I appreciate that. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
This
Very, very cool.
is a great place to come visit because the food is top notch, the beer list is fantastic, and I'm a huge vibe guy, and this is my vibe.
There's like 4
100%.
different vibes that I agree with all of them.
Yeah.
We're vibe aggregators.
There you go.
Yeah. It's fun. I appreciate it. It's very cool. It makes sense that we met along this particular path, you know?
Yeah.
It won't be
So-
the last one, I'm guessing.
Everybody out there in the interwebs, you need to get down to Thornton.
Either Thornton or Thornton, however you want to say it.
Silency.
Yeah.
There's plenty of parking, and you will leave here with a big ass smile on your
Hey,
face.
that was a great time.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Thanks, James. Appreciate
Cheers.
it.
Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Cheers, man.
you.
It was fun. No problem at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you have experienced low expectations. The beer has been fantastic, and he's good, but he and I,
We wing it. We're not so good at this.
I'm going to go home and knit you the worst blanket you've ever had in your entire life.
he's gonna weave him a rice blanket, a shawl.
With extra cinnamon.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Take
folks. Thank
care.
you.
Good night.
See you at Bierhaul soon.